Hi everyone, welcome to my track guide for week 105 of the GTP weekly race series time trials. This week we're at the Trial Mountain circuit in a race modified TVR Tuscan Speed 6. I'll play a lap, then go through it in more detail. So into turn 1, it's quite tricky this to get the right turning point. So you could try using the grid marker on the track as a turning point, or a method I like to use, instead of recognising a specific turning point, when you're coming up to the corner, look at the apex, and you'll find that if your eyes are looking at the apex, you will drive the car onto the apex, and that's a good technique that real racing drivers use. So you want to aim to just be on the grass, but obviously not over the curb, otherwise your lap will be disqualified. For the next corner, you haven't lifted off yet, so you're still on full power. For this second tricky bit over the crest, still on full power, flick the car into the corner. Again, aim to almost cut over the grass, but not quite. Still on full power. You should hopefully get a good landing to set it up for the next little kink. And then you have to lift off a bit for this, and hopefully you should be able to use the weight transfer from the previous corner to get the car to turn in a bit easier to apex on that corner. For this corner, you want to brake like halfway between the 100 metre board and the 50 metre board, but you don't want to brake hard, you just want to dab the brake slightly, so you don't actually want to lose that much speed. But if you brake too hard, you'll find that you oversteer or understeer depending on your brake bias, and that will make you go wide. So maintain the speed, and then you can get back on the power early, and then hopefully you can get the car straightened over the exit, or you might have to do a bit of extra wheel work there. The next corner, this is quite a tricky one. You want to brake at about the start of that curb on the left hand side. Use a bit of trail braking to get the car turned in towards the apex. Make sure you miss that curb on the inside, because that kills your lap time. Use a bit of throttle control and whatever you need to maintain traction on the exit so that you get a good run. You want to keep tight to the wall on the left here, but not too close, otherwise you'll actually cut the corner. Then brake just after that wall and get the car to drift into the corner like that. You should try and avoid that curb on the inside really, it does lose you a bit of time as it sends you wide. But I only lost half a tenth on that lap from it. But you can lose about a tenth if you do that badly. And get the car back towards the right hand side of the track for this next tricky corner. You want to dab the brakes a bit just as you enter the tunnel. Keep the car tight you don't want to let it go wide or you'll just kill your exit speed. So get back on the power very early and you should be able to get a good exit out onto this long straight here. Brake just before the 50-metre board for this corner. At first you want to brake hard, but as you go into the corner you'll find yourself, you won't want to brake very hard at all, otherwise you'll tend to oversteer, and if you oversteer around this corner you'll lose a lot of exit speed up the hill on the next straight. So make sure you keep tight to that inside wall on the inside so that you minimise the distance you have to take around the corner. That'll find you a lot of time as well. Then up the hill, use all the track you can and brake for the next corner just as you go past that rocky outcrop on the left. Again, you want to use trail braking and also use the shift down to second just to get the car rotated on the apex. So you want to keep tight to the inside curve there. Then you should be able to get on full power fairly soon, hopefully without too much wheel spin, and then get a good exit like that. This corner is very tricky now. You want to keep on the right hand side, brake just as you dip down onto the flat bit, but because of the elevation change, if you keep hard on the brakes you'll find the car tends to oversteer, and that'll either send you wide having to correct it or kill you that time anyway. So initially brake hard, then immediately brake less. So you just want to be dabbing the brake slightly just to keep the car under control as you drift it towards the apex and then get back onto power and you get a good exit. This corner is quite interesting. I actually found a few tenths going through this corner on my best lap, I think. You don't actually need to brake very much, just dab the brake a tiny amount just to get the car to bite as you turn in, and also shift down to fourth, that'll help as you turn in. It's quite a vital part of the lap time to get this car turned into the corners because it does have an understeery characteristic. So you want to turn it in as immediately as you've got it turned towards the apex, shift up to fifth and get onto full power. The quicker you do that, the more time you will gain on the exit, and it is a few milliseconds sooner on the throttle will gain you half a tenth coming out the corner. That's how crucial it is. Take that curve but not too much and then just run it straight to the line. And that's how to do a lap of the Trial Mountain circuit.